Wayne Krentz. I live in Alpena, Michigan. This truck was built in late 79 and 80, 78 and 79, and I started driving it in 80, 42 years ago. The frame is out of a 1939 Chevrolet 1.5-ton truck. I narrowed it 6 inches, lengthened it 4.5 feet for this truck. It's got an International DT466 six-cylinder diesel engine with a 10-speed Road Ranger, and it has a 3-speed Spicer auxiliary behind that. It's live tandem. I rigged that up with a late 70s New Process 203 transfer case, reversed the front drive shaft and put it out the back of the case so I could drive 2 in the back. And it's been foolproof. It works good. I'm 77 now, was 35 when I built it, so I've driven it over half my life. The body is completely handmade. It's not a Peterbilt cab cut down. All the little rivet bumps on there are 1/4 carriage bolts. There's over 1,700 of them in there, all hand drilled, put in one at a time. So it was quite a project. Took 2.5 years to build it, but like any kind of project like this, it's never done. There's always additions and adding to it and stuff. It's just a newer paint job on it now. It used to be black and maroon on the bottom. A good friend of mine, he was 10 years old when I built the truck. He lived 5 doors from me. He used to watch me build it, and now he painted it. And we're very good friends today. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
And I took it to Detroit and got it all pinstriped up. Greg Martinko does the steel haulers and the gravel haulers in Detroit, so I wanted it all dolled up, and I really am happy with the job he did. And my trailer behind it, that's all, I built that too. I built the camper and I built all the tractors on the trailer. It's just a homemade setup, and I just have a lot of fun going around antique tractor shows, truck shows, just traveling around with it.
Were you a trucker, or were you did you do this as a career?
I drove truck my whole life, retired 22 years ago. Drove for 5 different carriers, probably got good at least 3 million miles under my belt over the road truck driving too. So now this one here, it's a play toy now in my retirement. I'm not a television or fisherman or a hunter. I out in my workshop all the time. I gotta be tinkering around and using my hands to build stuff. So been a good old truck. It's got us all over the United States with it over the years. I just gonna keep on trucking. All my friends around town are all street riders. I even belonged to the club too. I didn't have a car at the time. Before I started building this truck, a group of us, we went to Columbus, Ohio to the Street Rod Nationals, and there was a fellow there, had a 1946, I think it was, Chevrolet 1.5-ton truck that he had taken the flat rack off of, put a little sleeper cab on it and a 5th wheel on the back, and I just went crazy over that thing. I told my wife, I said, when I get home, I'm going to build a truck. So that's what started this here. I found a 1939 Chevrolet truck 30 miles from my house. It was an old lumber company truck that was sitting in the weeds. I needed a straight frame, and I found that truck, and I took it all apart till I had nothing but the frame rails laying on my garage floor. And all my friends, they laughed. They said, "You'll never ride in it." 2.5 years later, I went to my first car show with it in Traverse City, Michigan, and that was in June of 1980. So it was 2 years after I started building it, but in 1980, it was a day cab. It didn't have a sleeper, so the winter over 80 to 81, I built a sleeper box, cut the truck in half, the frame, added the 4.5 feet in it, and put it back together, and had the bunk on it for 1981. So it was quite a project and stuff. And my friends all tell me you'll never ride in it, give me a lot of incentive.